Hello everybody and welcome to Gaming with Vindicator, where we're playing City Skylines 2. In last episode we founded this city of what we're calling Lillehammer, which is a city I think in Norway. And this build was literally my first time playing CS2. Blind, no scripts, no notes, or even any practice with the game. I loaded it up and just started playing and recorded myself. Today I'm much more experienced with the game. I've logged many obsessive hours this last week, so I have a plan for Lillehammer's rapid growth and prosperity. So today we're going to focus on two thrusts. We want to look at our industry, number one, and some transit, number two. And I think that's going to really make our city much improved. And as we go today, we'll create some new zones, and then at the end, if we have time, we'll improve some city services. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use some of these 10 development points that we've got. And we're going to come in here and I want to get a few things. All right, so we've used 9 of our 10 development points to get a lot of new items that we can use. And I think probably the most important thing is highways right now, because we've got to fix this ugly interchange that we made here last episode. Let's fix it because it's crucial to the city, and it shouldn't be ugly. It should be functional but also beautiful. So we're going to take care of that, and we're going to actually upgrade this, what we have as a temporary road, into an actual highway, which was what it was always intended to be. Well, I think that's a lot more beautiful than the last version, and we've got a much larger, we've used the largest roundabout that comes with the pre-built versions, and I think that's going to help this junction stay future-proof for a long time. Now I want to go and upgrade this to an actual true highway, and we'll even build an interchange in this area so that we have another little piece of access for this area. And you can see that I messed that up a little bit. I was hanging out on the wrong side of the road, and it actually bumped that over, not just at that end, but this end too. So I think there's a fix for that. Yeah, all right, so that's much smoother. It's not perfect. I had to kind of eyeball it a little bit. Not sure why we're getting the double the double lane here, but for the most part, it's pretty good. And I was all proud of myself coming into this thinking that, I've really, mastered the tools, but I guess I still have some to learn. And I'm sure you're probably facing this too. It's a new game. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is add an interchange on this side, and we're gonna use this highway again. And we want to come in and connect to this larger collector road, the ring road around this section of the land here, and maybe connect in here. So let's see what we can come up with. Okay, cool. So I was, for the first time, figuring out how to add a kind of acceleration or merging lane, and all I had to do was keep my snaps on and go over top with the upgrade tool. And it was on the wrong side at first, but then I just clicked the left mouse button and dragged it in the direction I wanted, and it put that lane on the right side. So, and I think we can run this. I don't see any reason why not. We've fixed that junction. We run it on low speed anyway. And now we have a little bit of a connection to this side of the map. We're going to put a neighborhood in here at some point, but let's get them in on the other side as well. We need another way for people to get on and off this minor highway here. So that will be a working, functioning connection, but you can see there's a little bit of tearing or some kind of weirdness going on here. I wonder if I hit that with the smoothing tool, if that will fix it. I really am loving that soften terrain tool, and I'm loving that it's free to terraform things, because this is a hilly map, and we definitely need to do a lot of terraforming, so it's coming in handy. So our city is at the point where it definitely needs, or at least could justify building its own power plant. And so let's take a look at where we're at now. So we're consuming about 16 megawatts per month of power, and we're importing that entirely. So I also noticed that the small power plant does about 20 megawatts, and so that would be probably perfect. It kind of pains me to create this kind of pollution with coal, but it does make sense to build this one and still have a little bit of power left over to sell and able to grow. So we're gonna move that over to the industrial area and probably move these industrial buildings out entirely. So I think let's find a pad over here and maybe buy a tile while we're at it. So looking at our terrain, you can see this is pretty hairy. We're going up quite a few meters over a short distance. So let's figure out what might be the best way to get in a power plant here. And I think it might just be to come off this road and level a pad. Great, so you can see that I've really had to manhandle the terrain here, but I think there's another way to do this. And I've left a little bit of space between here, the power plant and the road, just so we can sort of smooth that out. But I think we can get a road going around this, and let's see how that goes. Not too steep, I think we can live with that. And I really love how the roads now snap to buildings. That makes things super easy. Fantastic, so we've got our new small coal power plant in. It's connected to the grid. We can run this game again. Let's go back to our electricity panel and see that we are, it's not actually, it hasn't picked up yet that we're producing power. So let's run it a little faster. Did we do something wrong? Ah, there we go, 20 megawatts, 16, so we're exporting just about 4 megawatts, which is not much. We're gonna blow through that pretty quickly, but at least we're not relying on the outside now, and we should actually be making some money selling this power. Let's see actually how that's going. Service trade, it's still saying 0. Oh, there we go, 7,000. I don't know what is that per week, per month? It's not a lot, but it's something. Okay, we've got our power, and now that we have adequate cheap power, I think it's time to invest in our industry so we can make some money. Let's open the natural resources panel and zoom way out. And we can see already that in our region we do have some really great prime farmland where we can place some grain, some vegetable farms. We can also place some livestock, which doesn't require these prime farmland, the yellow patches. And you know, I can already see that we built our industrial right on a prime patch of farmland. That was unfortunate, but hey, I didn't think to look at it first. I see that we've also put our high school on top of one of those patches. So, you know, at least we can move the high school, and I think let's just do that and get it where we want it, and then maybe get into some of these farms here. I'm gonna want to cross my bridge somewhere. Yeah, oops, I didn't want to place that. Somewhere under here. It's great that we can actually get under this bridge quite easily. So anywhere on the left side of this power line is fine. But I do want this bridge to be relatively high. Like this would be way too low to put a bridge on. So we're gonna want to, you know, maybe level out a pad on both sides and make sure that the bridge is level when it goes across the river. And then I want to put this road straight as possible. So we're gonna just level the route and try to eyeball it as best as possible and carve up the hillside in the process. So let's see, can I just go straight shot across there and get a bridge? I doubt it, but we're gonna try. Well, apparently I got lucky. I stayed in my trench for the most part. That looks like a very smooth road. How's the bridge looking? Hey, we even got a pillar in the middle. Kind of looks like it's dipping down there, doesn't it? That's really odd. I'm not sure why that would be. See if I can fix it without breaking it too much. Better, and we have a second bridge, which is going to be crucial because I think this one is probably getting a little hairier, or will very soon. Let's check the traffic there. It's green so far. I guess it's fine, but I still would like to future-proof this area. And you know what? I do love the trussed bridges, the arches, so we're going to upgrade this. And that pillar is right in the middle, so I think we should get pretty even spans. I don't know if they're exact. It looks pretty good to my eyes. But let's get this high school in the place that we want it. And of course, this is a hilly area, so more grading. So I've put a road in here at a 90 degree to Willow Street, just so we get a road across here, kind of frontage road, that will allow this high school to sort of front that street. Kind of like the fact that it's going to be on a hill overlooking the city and probably the water as well. Yep, very cool. Let's get the next road in. And I'm actually going to upgrade to add the stadium, because I kind of want to center that as best I can behind and make sure that I'm not creating anything else behind there. So that, I think that looks really cool. I don't want to go inadvertently build something behind it. And the fact is now I can get a road around this whole thing, and hopefully it looks spectacular. Yeah, and we forgot to do some grading, so obviously that's got to be fixed. So I wanted to throw a bunch of commercial on that street because it is a main collector, and that kind of makes sense. And then we're gonna just come back here and soften this terrain out and hopefully get it as flat as possible. Same thing on this side. And we'll see if we can put just a little bit of a park type of thing on this side. And I'm gonna turn off the snap to zone grid so that I can get right in the middle of this pathway here. And yes, get a crosswalk. I don't really want a crosswalk on the other side, I don't believe. So I'm just trying to sneak it back as far as I can. That's still connected to the road, which is good. And I might actually run one behind here as well. All right, and let's give this some trees. Well, I definitely could appreciate a prop line tool right now. That was a lot of trees to be placed, and aren't they so cute, these little babies? Yeah, we know that they're gonna look really great when they grow up, but it does take some time for that to happen. So, all right, let's see how the high school turns out. How are we doing so far? 117 of 800 students. Of course, we can expand that with expansion wings, but it's a good thing to have. This is fairly central. When we put the neighborhood in here, it's going to be kind of serving everyone. So what's next? We did say we're moving that because we want to put a farm in. So now that we've created the space, let's put a farm in. So let's start with a grain farm and try to maximize the amount of space. I'm gonna just put it next to the road and see where is the face of this building. Okay, it's where the little green square is. So if I come out here and try to get a maximum, and of course taking into account the road, maximum amount of farmland here, I think this right here makes perfect sense. So let's get a dirt road, a gravel road, and let's come off this road here and just snake it up the hill. All right, now we can come back in here, and unfortunately you can't just start clicking again. You've got to grab the nodes, pull them to where you want them, and well, you know, it is what it is. Okay, cool. We have our first farm, our vegetable flowers, haha, very clever. Grain, sorry, it's actually grain. So that's perfect. And I wonder where can we, ooh, look, forest fires. Where can we put our next farm, and which one do we want? We've got a pretty big patch of fertile land here, and you know, we've done our grain farm, but I want to get a, what's the next one? Is it vegetables? Let's take a look at this. So we haven't unlocked vegetables yet. We're super close to milestone 5. You know, I think I might just zone some more, probably all these things that are needed, and hopefully that'll bump us over to our next milestone. So let's just expand the road network and get some industrial in here. So there goes our industrial demand, although we have lots more space to play with. We've got a lot of demand for medium density residential, and I think it probably would make a lot of sense to start another little community over here. You know, we've got our medium density here, the building's growing up. I don't like building over things, although I know that's the way that things develop is, you know, they tear down buildings, they build bigger ones. But let's get over here and let's continue with our commercial on the main collector, and let's put some taller buildings in behind. Those few little blocks just totally blew out our demand for that. So industrial's back, however, and I think we're going to take advantage of this seafront here, or the riverfront, and just try to use our slope terrain tool, go a little smaller. Yeah, I think that's probably the width we want for the 6 tiles, and we'll just come over here and see if we can't level a pad into the water. Hey, there it is, tiny town. So now we should have a whole bunch of things, including our vegetable farming. We get mixed housing, coal, that'll be handy since we have a coal plant. Ooh, we got communications for internet, mail, and a few policies as well. I'm not sure we'll look at these today, but let's just finish up what we're doing here. That's created lots of usable land for industrial, so you know what, let's just go crazy with it. All right, we shouldn't need shouldn't have any industrial demand for a while now. You know, we're having trouble keeping up with demand here, but I don't want to get bogged down in just putting in zoning everywhere. So let's do this. Let's break this road and let's see where we can fit our farm in. So we'll put that right in the flat pad over there. I'm going to adjust this road even a little bit more. I don't want to lose any of this great farmland here. So we'll come with our continuous road tool. I want to put the natural resources on so that we're kind of being respectful of this, and just make a curved road there. And let's get this farm running. So we'll get a gravel road. Attaching to buildings will come out right at the end of this driveway. Beautiful. Okay, and now let's do our, what do you call these? Area tool. Let's do it. Yeah, that's great. You know, just this little pocket of fertile land, and we're obviously struggling here. What's going on here? So it appears that this is visually misleading. It's not actually, the road is not actually where it belongs, which is going to be a problem because now I have to move the nodes. But we can do that. We'll make that work. And we fixed it. Okay, so now they have a front yard, which is cool. Wonderful. All right, let's see what that's doing for our production. 2 farms now. Let's go into our economy panel. And oh, we're making money, which is a great thing. And if we look at production, okay, we have a wonderful surplus of grain. We even have some vegetables being produced here. We still have a major deficit, probably because people are eating all the food, so that makes sense. We've got deficits of basically everything here. I don't even want to expand these menus because we're not there yet. We need our basic primary resources. We're looking for livestock, we're looking for wood, we're looking for, what is this, fabrics, cotton. You know, eventually we'll want all of these resources. Coal, I think we just unlocked that. Let's get a few more of those things in. The livestock we can put anywhere, so let's just do that. Okay, and I figured, you know, since we have a farm here already, why not put one next to it and kind of push it away from our residential commercial areas. Let's get this functioning. All right, I do love the fact that those kind of mesh. I mean, the grain runs differently, no pun intended, but that's pretty cool. And the fact that this building is on such a steep, that's wild. But you know, I think there's probably still working the bugs out of this this system here. You know, I don't love the fact that it's a circle and you could make circular farms, which is ridiculous. But you know, I just went ahead and cut it off of my own accord. Make a straight line, and there it looks more natural. Okay, what do we want now? We've got our grain, we've got our vegetables, we've got our livestock, and you know, I think we're gonna want some, based on what we were lacking in the production panel, some wood and some coal. So let's find a nice patch of trees and let's build a spot. I'm seeing this. I mean, this is perfect. It's also on a massive hill. I don't think we're going to be building a lot of industrial buildings up there. We might want to reserve some of that for wind. Let's see what actually is up here. Aha. So there's our patch of, well, we'll call it coal. Those are ore deposits. So I think what we're going to do we have enough? Oh, we have plenty of tiles. So we can actually come in here, get this one. I don't want to lose any at all. So we'll get those 4. And what else do we want to do? We want to build a forestry area as well. So and again, thinking about wind. So let's just get the ore or the coal mine in first, and we'll see what we do after that. A little bit hilly in this spot, so we are going to just flatten out a pad. And that is quite the distance, so I'm gonna wanna actually grade that a little bit better. The other thing is I want to put some train infrastructure over here, so I don't wanna mess it up. So I think I might try to come off this junction here, and we might just have to completely rethink that road at some point anyway. So just buy this one more tile here. We'll call that a temporary road at best. Really just we're after the resources, so we'll make it beautiful later. Okay, I guess that looks sort of like an organic area. But you know, the beautiful thing is that it will function. It will bring us some cash. So let's fix our terrain that we busted up. Okay, and while we're up here, I think there might be some value in looking at wind power. Let's see just what our power is doing right now. We're just barely importing, not even a megawatt. So, you know, we are teetering on the brink. I don't like importing. So the great news is we're on a hill. So hopefully, yeah. It's not actually wonderful. It's only about 4 out of 5 megawatts. You know, we might, and of course it's not going to tell me how well the wind does over here, so until we buy those tiles. Let me see if there's any spots we could possibly put wind power. Okay, so we're going to abort that mission. I just don't think that we have the kind of wind that we want for the maximum efficiency. I've seen 5 megawatts on this map, so we're going to keep looking for the right spot for our wind turbines. So when you look at the overlay for wood, it's showing dark green. We're looking for dark green, right? But strangely enough, it's not where we thought it might be. It's really dense over here, but we don't have any land over there. I'm wondering if I can simply plant some trees and put them in there. So let's try this. I believe there's a tool where you can actually place a whole bunch of them at once. Yeah, there it is. Place multiple. Place several items at once. Brush size determines the area and brush strength. Okay, so we're gonna go strength up to max, because I'm crazy like that. And then area, yeah, this should be fine. And then let's find a good tree that's for lumber. Oh, we found it. Pines are good for lumber. There you go. All right, so we'll come in here and we'll just fire in a whole bunch of new baby trees. And you know, it's gonna take some time for that to grow up, but once they do, I think we're gonna have plenty of lumber. So you know, we're gonna put our wood, what do you call it, a field over here, our wood forest over here. So let's go in and do that, and I think that might be the last one we put in here. And that is a wide area, so we're actually gonna come down here and put even more trees. And look at that, once we zoom in with our detail, it is a lot of trees coming in. So I think this industry is gonna be happy. We're doing a good thing. Let's flatten out a tiny pad in the middle of this and just double check how big that is. Yeah, like so. And yeah, you know, we could even scoot it closer down to the road here. Let's put it right there, and I'll see what we can do with a pad. So let's just snake this around into the main artery here. And I'm thinking now, ooh, we got some terrain here, so let's just fix the grade. Somehow missed the connection. Let's see, maybe I placed it on the wrong way, facing the wrong way. I can't move this. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, it hates me. So yeah, I've done something weird. I'm gonna try to fix it. Turns out the front of that was on the other side. So we made it work. And yeah, again, terrain. I mean, what the heck would you do without the soften terrain tool? It's so incredibly useful. Let's make this function. Yeah, okay, so it definitely requires a degree of patience to get the nodes where you want them, but I don't know, in a weird way it's kind of therapeutic. I guess I'm just a sucker for punishment. Any other industries that we want to get in? I think we're going to want some stone, and that can go anywhere, so I'm just going to quickly put one in wherever it seems logical. And isn't that funny? The stone and the coal look identical. I guess it's not terribly unusual. Or did I mess it up and put the wrong thing in there? Yeah, one's rock and one's coal. So let's take quick stock of how we did with our industry areas or our extractor areas. We've got 5 of them, and let's see how we're doing on production. Amazing. So we have a massive surplus in wood, in grain, a little surplus in livestock, and a massive surplus in coal. That is very interesting to me. And same thing with stone. So we're becoming this industrial powerhouse. I'm wondering what our budget's looking like. Yeah, we're in the green, so that's great. Wonderful, love it. What are we missing here? We're still short on vegetables, which I don't know what I can do about that without more fertile land. And cotton next. Maybe oil eventually. And what is this? Metal ore, okay. I think we need to wait for a higher level of our milestones before we can actually do anything about that. Just opening up the material goods, what do we have here? So these are more processed materials, chemicals, plastics, pharmaceuticals, and I don't think we can do anything about petrochemicals. Not that I'm aware of. I still need to learn how to use this game. And then material goods are things like software. What do we have? Financial services. We're not even going to mess with that. So we've got a really good start on production. But guess what? We're producing all these resources, but we definitely want to give these local businesses a way to export these things. And I'm a train guy, so I'm going right for trains. I've already unlocked them. And in order to do that, we first need to make a rail yard. And I'm thinking somewhere around here might be nice. We'll flatten a pad. And after we have a rail yard, then we can go for the cargo terminal. So the rail yard is where the trains are maintained and stored, I guess. And then the cargo terminal is where the actual trucks drop off cargo and they go to other towns. So let's get that going. All right, there we have our, what do you call this? A rail yard. Yes, a rail yard. So now we can have trains in our map, in our city, but we can't actually connect any lines yet because we need a cargo train terminal. So let's figure out where we're gonna put that and maybe clean this up a little bit. So clearly I had to do some unspeakable things to the terrain to get this in here. Obviously we are facing some major hills, but is it unrealistic? In a city this hilly, I'm not sure it would be unrealistic. I'm not sure it's the best configuration, but it is what we got. We're playing around, we're still learning. So let's clean up the rest of this space and get some train lines in actually to start. So we're gonna go in here. And how do we do this? I think we need to go here. We do our cargo railway route. We click on the green icon here to start a new route. We'll zoom all the way out and see where, oh, we have 2 train lines. We have a train line that's kind of dead ending there, so that's interesting. And we can click on this green one to add a waypoint. Then we go back to the train station and boom, created that route. We'll click again to create a new route. We'll find the other end of that train line, which is up here, and coming back and completing the routes. So now we should be able to click into our train routes and see cargo. We have 2 different lines, 2 stops. We can run this now. And eventually we're hoping that we're gonna see usage on these lines, and that will mean that they're exporting cargo. Mostly exporting, probably importing some, but hopefully that's mostly exports since we wanna make the money. And let's fix up some of this road layout and see if we can't make this a little less ugly. Well, I thought I might be able to get a tunnel underneath here, but it looks like maybe this rail line is not tall enough. Or maybe, you know what, let's keep at it. Let's keep trying. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. We've got our rails connected, we can run this again, we've got some more industrial in, although we have maximum demand for everything. So let's just try to zone in just a little bit more. And I hate to zone industrial over yet another aquifer, but I just don't know what we'd use the aquifer for. We're sort of okay for water, and we're gonna be pumping it out of the rivers anyway, so you know, we'll just let it happen. All right, what's happening down here? Do we have any usable space we can fill in here? I think before we do any of that, look, we've done some amazing work with the trains. We've got our cargo network set up. We're definitely helping out our industry. But you know, what about the actual people? Like, let's think about the people here. The traffic, I don't believe is horrible yet. Let's take a look. I don't see any terrible traffic yet, but I can imagine it's gonna get pretty hairy soon, especially maybe across the bridges. And I think we need to do something to future-proof this. So I'm gonna preempt any problems by setting up a bus line to transport people from home and to work. And I don't know, I think that makes sense to put that in the industrial area. Let's find a spot for it. That's a cool asset. I like that a lot. So it's just a lot of parking spots, it looks like. And yeah, it looks like there's a ring road around here. So what options do we have? Do we have any upgrades? We have electric buses, enables the depot to send out electric buses. Something weird is happening on this road here. Yikes. Oh, that train got a little bit derailed. That's odd, very odd. And what else? We have what, extra garage. So an extended garage that can house more buses. Great. We've got, I think, how many buses do we get with this? 25. We're not going to go through that for a very long time. So let's go ahead and get some bus lines in. Let's try to connect all this residential to up here. And you know what? Even maybe we'll get it going through here. I'm thinking maybe just a circular route that that pings around both directions. Let's see how it goes. And this is my first time using the bus stops, so we've got simple bus stops and shelters. I'm not honestly sure what the difference is, but well, there's a cost difference, so we'll just go with the bus stops for now, and we'll see how that performs. Okay, great. We have our 2 lines, and what do we want to call these? We'll call these downtown 1. I don't know if this is our downtown, but okay, we'll leave it. And downtown 2. And we'll change the color, make that our green. Is there a color picker, I wonder? It's still something they've omitted. Okay. We'll try to match it. There we go. Pretty close. And we'll see how this goes. It's curious to me that there's 9 stops versus 12. I thought I did exactly the same amount. Let's figure out why that is. So I did figure it out. I had not been precise enough to get the stops right on the actual bus stop. So they were becoming waypoints just near the stop instead of actually on it. So I guess you're just gonna have to be very, very careful with that when you play. So, but you know what? We fixed it. What's next? All right, so I notice we don't have any post office facilities or telecom. So people are gonna be screaming for communication with the outside world. And why don't we start with the radio towers? I noticed that these work a lot better on high ground. Unfortunately, we don't have any high ground in the middle of town here. So what to do? Let's do our best. We're gonna find somewhere to put a high radio tower. And if worse comes to worse, we might just build a hill or two. Well, that's pretty good coverage for most of our network, but I'm wondering if maybe we can boost the signal on this one. What does this do? Bandwidth increase, we don't need extra range to 50 meters. So let's try that and see how it goes. Does that work? We did it. Check. We'll go back to our menu here. Yeah, it's not perfect. I wish we could get it higher up, but I think it's going to be okay for now. At least the industrial area is popping. And what about a post office? Let's see where that might fit in nicely. I think we might actually de-zone this industrial over here. We don't want this pollution on this side of the river. We know that the smog is carrying up that way, and we also know that there's going to be some ground pollution. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, so it's not major, but it's going to take a while to go away. So I think we'll see if we can just get the post office in this block. So the only problem with that is that we won't be able to upgrade anything. So I think what I'm just going to do is remove that road and move this guy. Let's see, how much space will this take? That's about 6 squares deep. So let's leave 6 squares on the one side and kind of center it. Okay, so we've got room to grow. We've got a post office that I believe is servicing really most of the city now. If we check, we've got, yeah, pretty good coverage, industrial and over here. We might just add a mailbox over this side so that people can drop off their mail. I don't know if it matters where you put it. This is my first time dealing with this, so let's just put it on the corner here. That will cover that section, and you know, maybe one out here just for these lonely industrial workers. Interesting, it says no car access. I wonder why there'd be no car access on a road. Well, we got it in, okay. Great, and I think we might actually drop one more mailbox somewhere in here. Interestingly enough, it wants to take a house out if I put it there, so, but if I put it on the side of the road, it should be fine, right? Okay, still not quite going away with the red. What does that say? Mail accumulation is high. Oh, the coverage is on the actual road, so the network. Okay, so I think we're pretty good. Taking care of post, and we've taken care of our telecoms. We've got some obviously traffic jams here. Let's come through and see if we need some lights or something like that. Maybe there were already lights on this this junction, and I wonder, can I get rid of no, I have to put stop signs on every corner, so that's kind of annoying. I wish I could just let this road flow like in City Skylines 1. You hit the roots key and you just take off the stop signs at the corners. But yeah, we might actually need a second highway interchange. That's probably something for another day. I have an idea of putting one in both in here and in here at the end of these collectors. But not today. We've done our telecoms towers. How about parks? Have we even thought about parks yet? Yeah, so it looks like we're severely failing at that. Let's start with the park maintenance depot, where they house the office and the garage for vehicles, blah, blah, blah. Can be upgraded. Okay, so this is probably going to be a bit sizable as well. I wonder if maybe it goes in the city services campus with this other building, and we'll tuck this in here. And ruin the terrain, of course. Let's see, what other upgrades does this need? Will it fit? Okay, so that goes on top, and this one is a increased space. Yeah, that'll fit in there if we need to. So for now, I think that works. We'll leave that there. And now that we have a park, oh, what's happening here? Waiting for ambulance. Oh, it looks like we have a healthcare issue. Let's take a look at that. So we're at 56% health, is really low. We have half of our clinic full. We don't need a crematorium right now, but okay, so what can we do about this? Let's take a look at our clinic, and we see there are some upgrades, additional ambulances, and these people are waiting for ambulances, so that would make sense to add that. And more patients we don't need, but we do need space for new ambulances. So oh, that goes right on top. That's perfect. We'll plug it in. Oh, invalid shape. So it really doesn't like that. I wonder if it's maybe a terrain issue. I'm gonna just move this over one tile. Yes, done. Okay, so we should have now, what is that, double the amount of ambulances. We should be able to pick up people much quicker. These icons should go away. We also have high rent. We know that there's not enough housing in the city. Why don't we quickly get in a new residential neighborhood up in here? We'll satisfy some of this demand. And actually, you know what, we've got a road network here. We might as well start putting in some housing here. But hey, I'm getting distracted. Parks people. We have small parks and we have access to large parks. Let's see where we can fit the large ones. This is attractiveness 10, 5 recreation 15, and 5. So the large plaza is the most effective. It's also rather huge. So I'm just not sure where we would even stick that at this point. We could take up a whole city block and get that in here. I think that's a little bit of overkill. So let's see if we get just one city park in here. And I'm seeing that the large playground, it really doesn't cover that much area. So we might stick just one over in the corner here, and then try to get in. Well, can we fit a plaza in here? We're gonna take a whole block up for that, but let's see. It might make sense to have that amenity in the downtown. We're overlapping something there. It looks like a fire station. This next block over, there's something else in there as well. And I don't know, here is not exactly central, but it fits. And hey, we've got to Boomtown. So what does that get us? A lot more progression points, a lot more tiles to buy. We have a whole whack of them. 14 of those. So I mean, I have 12 progression points. That's pretty fantastic. Textile farming, great. Heavy traffic ban could come in handy. Advanced pollution management. Industrial filters reduce air and ground pollution in industrial zones, but produce more garbage. That sounds like it would be very helpful for us. And let's check out our policies actually right now. Where do we find those? Oh, and we see that our bus lines, we've got some utilization, 33% on this direction and 17 on the other. That's okay. It's growing. Oh, interesting. Oh yeah, no public transport, nothing. Cargo. Wow, nothing on this one, but we have 356 tons, which is only 15% on this one. So, you know, hopefully that does mean some exports, and again, it will grow. Where were we? So I thought maybe I'd have to create a district to get in the policies, but I'm actually not seeing where we apply those. Let me keep looking. Okay, we found it. Here it is. So advanced pollution management, let's turn that on. We're going to filter air and ground pollution, which seems great to me, and we have lots of garbage capacity, so that works for me. Any other policies in here that we want to use? I don't think so. Pre-release programs. I'm not sure. It doesn't tell us what the actual cost is. Prisoners are enrolled in education before they're released from prison. Helps integrate back into society. Sure, sounds great. Sounds like a progressive policy. Hopefully it doesn't tank our budget, but so far so good. Let's continue with our parks so that people don't get upset. And I think we're gonna go back to our little parks, and let's put in this commercial area over here a small. Actually, while I'm thinking of it, I believe this elementary school has an upgrade for parks or for playground here. Plus 10 well-being and plus 5 for students. So, it's not technically, what I would think is a park with attractiveness. It does fit on this side, and I wonder what are the other, So that's interesting that we might not be able to fit everything in unless we move this. I kind of want to put this on the other side. It's 4 tiles, so I guess we'll just scooch it over a little bit. And there we have our park, and we have plenty of space to add our healthcare facility if we want it. Plus 5 health for student due. Yeah, well, you know what? We're suffering for healthcare. What's the cost on this? 10,000 a month and plus 5 for students only. I just don't know if that's worth it. Are we making money now? Just barely. I'd rather not tank our budget. People are not complaining about healthcare. They're complaining about death care pickup. So we'll just not spend the money at the moment. Let's get one more park in here. So a little plaza near the center of this intersection here, and we're adding some leisure. We have got, this side is covered so far. Out here in the boonies, not much. The industrial area, definitely hurting. I'm not sure, I'm always confused or sort of not sure about what to do for industrial areas. Do they want parks? Do they want plazas? Do they need anything like that? Do they want a dog park? Is anyone bringing their dog to work? Probably not, I'm guessing. So I'm thinking maybe we'll go with a small park just here and there, just so that they're not completely devoid of places to go and just sit and have a coffee break. And there we have it. Okay. I think there's really only one thing left to do, and that's zone out some new areas. I think this hill here looks like a prime spot for some new low density residential, and we'll also fill out this part of the zone as well. But I want to start over here, so let's do it. So it looks to me like these paths cannot connect to park paths inside the park. So if that's not the case, let me know, but just seems really kind of strange to me. So I don't know, let me know. And let's check if we have any other coverage issues. I'm wondering if maybe we need a radio mast up here. Indeed we do. I'm just noticing we have absolutely no garbage collection in this city, so it might be something we want to take care of now. Now the question is, do we go for a landfill which is cheap and dirty, or do we want to go for something like a recycling center or even an incineration plant which will allow us to produce energy? How's our energy doing? We certainly have a deficit. We're only producing about 2/3 of our demand, and we're importing the rest. I don't love that idea. We're short about 10 megawatts. Now, if we go over to the incinerator plant. This produces up to 250 megawatts, so it's way more than we need. I don't think we want that because this is costs $1 million and 210,000 a month. We're currently at I don't know how to convert hourly to monthly. It's a bit of a more than I can do in my head, but I think given that we're sort of hurting for cash here, not a good idea. Do we want to go for the recycling center? Let's take a look at that one. So this one is also pretty expensive, almost as much as the incinerator plant, and only covers 10 tons a month, and we're at 46 tons. So I'm thinking we're just gonna go cheap and easy and put it in a landfill. Now, of course, this takes up a lot of space, so we're gonna have to find somewhere that fits. I'd like to put it inside of our industrial area or near it, but wow, this is really hilly. So let's see, where could we maybe squeeze this in? I mean, no reason it can't live on a hill, right? The only downside would be that we're gonna see that garbage from the city, which, you know, not the nicest thing to look at. Wonder, can we go on the other side of the hill here and maybe tuck it away? Or are we getting a little too far from the city center? I don't even think we can do that given that our roads can't cross through these industrial areas. How hard would it be to remove the landfill? I just don't know. You know what, I'm gonna make an executive decision and we're gonna put it right at the end of this road here, and let's see how that goes. Okay, well, I was hoping we could terraform the land after the fact. We can, which is great. That's actually quite a beautiful building for a landfill. Obviously, we've created a giant mountain of garbage, which is hopefully not too visible from our city. I mean, it kind of is, which, you know, really kind of sucks. It's not what you want in a cityscape, but you know, it's gonna work. So how much capacity do we have here? 0.5 tons a month. And that can't be right because we're producing like 30 tons a month. So let's just let it run and see how it goes. And let's get back to what we were doing originally, which is zoning in this, this neighborhood here. Great, we've created our little suburban paradise over here. All these single family homes zone in. You know, hopefully there's lots of fairly wealthy or middle class people to take up those. I've even zoned some little bit of commercial along this ring road here. This is what we call a collector. And now I see we've got some demand for high density. Is that high density? Yes, it is. So that's really cool. I think we could probably go into our original OG downtown here, and maybe we can use some of the mixed use so that we get both some commercial, and I think this is high density on top. Not entirely sure, but we'll just give it a try, see how it turns out. And I can see both our demand for medium density and high density is going down. So I'm wondering maybe it's actually medium density demand that's attached to the mixed use. Regardless, I think it wouldn't hurt to get a little bit of high density apartment blocks over on this side, because that's this seems to be the theme that we're going for. Let's check it out, and here we go. Low rent housing. Yeah, that's exactly what we need. So we'll put some in here, and we'll see what does that do to our demand. Slowly going down. Slowly going down. And you know what? We haven't even touched any office demand yet. So I think we're going to put in a section over here. And you know what? Maybe let's de-zone this and do a little bit of very careful marquee targeted demand over here. Where else might we want a little bit of office? I think we're gonna come into this area here and just put a little bit of office in this space. Yeah, that's basically destroyed our demand for office space. So we'll keep an eye on that, but I think for now it's good. And we need, lastly, industrial. So let's see. This is turning out to be insatiable demand. We're really loading up on the industrial demand. There seems to be a pretty good area we could use here. Also, I noticed it's interesting. This cargo train yard just dead ends. I don't love that. In the previous game, they would be able to come in from both sides, which made a lot of sense to me. I'm not sure why they made the decision to do it that way, but it is what it is. So it looks like when we put in that mixed density, we just kind of demolished everything. Nobody wants this beautiful land here. I'm not sure why that is. I guess, those zones with the mixed density, I'm guessing include, obviously commercial on the bottom, and then with apartments, they say, on the top. So I'm not sure if that's large or medium, maybe some of both. But I guess we just don't have enough demand for the residential side of things to justify that going in there. So, I might actually reverse course a little bit on that and put it back to commercial here. Well, how do we do? I think we're definitely off to the races. Can we put this in cinematic mode? Let's see. Yeah, so I'm unfortunately, have a bit of a low level of detail, so things disappear as you get farther from the ground. But, we can see we've done some good work. We've added some farmland. We're definitely increasing some production. We've beautified our high school. And I see the mouse wheel gets reversed when you're in cinematic mode, which makes no sense to me, but it is what it is. The trees are growing up. Hey, look at that. That's cool. I can't stand the mouse wheel. And we've expanded our industrial area. We've put in trains. We've got stone and coal and forestry and a landfill. Wow, we did a lot this episode. And we put in a whole new episode. We put in a whole new interchange on the highway here, the minor highway. This is looking cool. I'm actually really starting to like this game a lot. Day one was very tough because obviously learning curve, I've been playing City Skylines 1 for 3 years or so. This has been, just a week or two maybe. And so there's a lot to learn. But I'm seeing that the game, it's good and bad. I see all the negative reviews out there. I don't think they're justified. I think it's better than a lot of people say. You just gotta take some time with it. Look at what some of the top creators are doing. They're doing some amazing things with this game. So if you're struggling, keep going. There's always more to learn. I'm learning every single day, and I love it. I need obviously a new computer to upgrade my graphics, but I'm gonna keep playing because I love it, and I might as well have you all along for the ride with me. And I really appreciate that. I appreciate you watching this series. I appreciate you spending time with me. It's a lot of fun to know that people are out there. If you like the series, please hit the like button. It helps me get out to more people. And I'd love for you to follow along and subscribe, because it's nice to have people watching what you're doing. And it's nice for you to get updates for when new episodes come out. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, and have a wonderful night, morning, day, wherever you are in the world, whenever you're watching this. And thanks so much. Leave me a comment and let's chat. Let's start a conversation. Love to hear from you. Thanks, and have a great day.